Hello and welcome. Just hope everyone had a good holidays, and hopefully everyone has a good New Year's. This will be the last episode I make of the 2022 year. So basically, to hop right in, I'll admit there was a few games like as you can see I didn't pick the best. There's a few I am a little bit bad about though. Just to, like show you how awful I'm on Pickem this year. Like I picked Miami, but after learning about all the people who lost for the Packers, I ended up being all over the Packers. And for whatever reason, I just didn't. I thought I picked them too, so I didn't flip my pick. And then you see like that. And other than that, the rest of the misses are just on me. I don't regret picking Cleveland. Shocked they lost. The Lions losing, that was pretty bad. But other than that, I thought I did fine, but obviously had a few misses. And then obviously for the season, I'm way over. So and then also, these are the games for this week. For the near future, forewarning, I'm probably going to be looking off to one of the sides. I'm working on setting up a new monitor, and I haven't transferred over which is the main monitor yet, so probably going to be doing a lot of this right now until I figure out which monitor is better to look at for the viewing purposes. So if you see me doing like this, sorry for the nausea. Just to hop in, no Derrick Henry, and Malik Willis is not ready for the NFL. I heard somebody say that he looks like. I saw something that said Malik Willis out on the NFL field right now looks like a fat kid in a 60-man dodgeball match, and he's just kind of like trying to react to everything that's happening at once, and the game feels too fast for him. That's what I've heard a lot recently, and just like from reading it, it looks like the game is a little fast. He's really, really raw. He has potential, but really haven't seen much out of him. Atlanta, Arizona. I guess I'll pick Atlanta. I don't like either of those two teams, honestly. Arizona almost took the Bucks down the wire, but it's hard to tell. Especially if Trace McSorley's starting, I'm not picking the Cardinals. No offense to him, I just don't have any faith in him. I'm gonna take Detroit here because the way it's looking, I'll get to that point in a second. But the NFL's starting to set something up sneaky. I'm gonna pick the Chiefs here. Chiefs probably gonna be high. They're battling for the 1 seed, so they should take the game really seriously. And the way Russell looked, sheesh. Gonna pick Miami here. New England's just been on the bad slide, and I just don't think it's their year. Gonna pick New York. They're fighting for a playoff spot as well. Philly fighting for the 1 seed in their conference. And I don't trust. Like I said, I don't trust Andy Dalton and I'm gonna fade Andy Dalton for as long as he starts. I'm gonna take Tampa Bay here, but I'm not very confident in this game at all. I'm actually gonna pick Cleveland here, and I know. And honestly, I feel a lot better about this pick, the way it looks. If you look down here, there's only 19% on Cleveland, but this is my let me put on my little conspiracy theory cap. So Taylor Heineke, I know he has a ceiling, and the biggest issue people have been saying is Taylor Heineke can only take you so far and this and all that. You saw, though, the team for the Commanders rallied behind him. Scary Terry looked the best he's looked on the Commanders with Taylor Heineke, and they bench him for Carson Wentz. And I know Carson Wentz probably has a little bit more of the talent, but when it comes to the chemistry and just like that type of guy, that Commanders team does not look like they rallied behind Carson. So I hate to say it, Cleveland probably won't win this game, but it's just the fact that they're starting Carson to try to save the playoffs, and Lions Packers could be for a playoff spot next week, and they both need the Commanders to lose. So like I said, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but I just have a weird feeling that Cleveland might find a way to win the game. Jacksonville, Houston, this game doesn't really matter, so I'm solely going to pick this game based on the fact that Houston's going to probably want to keep the number 1 overall pick. So I'm not saying I think it's going to be competitive, but both those teams really don't need that game because Jaguars Tennessee is going to come down next week anyway. But I don't see a world where I think Houston got probably their last win of the season last week, and they barely got it against Malik Willis, who played pretty bad. So I don't think Jacksonville's going to drop that game. San Fran shouldn't drop that game now, especially with Stidham starting. So they're fighting for. They potentially win. They might get the 2 seed, so they have a lot to play for. I'm going to pick Green Bay here. Not the most confident in it, but just solely for the fact that I think they can make a little bit of. Also, I'm going to pick Seattle here, not doing too much. I don't trust either of those teams, so this is probably going to end up being lower, and I'm probably going to flip a few numbers around. But the reason I like Green Bay so much is just because next week is really going to matter. I think personally, they're really going to have to they really, I think, to make Week 18 matter, the Packers and the Lions have to be fighting for that playoff spot. Obviously, it's going to matter because it's NFL, but the most views will be help if it's Packers-Lions fighting for a playoff spot. So, I mean, plus, too, Minnesota, they already kind of got clinched. They've been due to get got. I've been saying this for weeks now, and I mean, they just haven't got yet. But they've been all these one-score games. I mean, they're due to lay an egg here soon, I feel like. And why not lay it now instead of into the playoffs? Chargers, Rams, I'm going to pick Chargers. They both don't really have much to play for. They're both teams that are going nowhere. Rams don't even have a... Well, excuse me. Chargers going to the playoffs. Rams are going nowhere, and they don't even have a draft pick. So the reason... And then, yeah, the Chargers already have their playoff spots set. It's just kind of like playing for the seeding a little bit. So the game doesn't matter too much, but obviously the Chargers want to win for momentum-wise. Baltimore, Pittsburgh. I hate to do this, but... This might be a flip depending on Lamar plays or not, but assuming Lamar doesn't play, I'm going to pick Pittsburgh just to make this game, which is going to matter a lot. And I'm probably going to pick... I lied. This is probably going to be a one-point game. I'm probably going to pick Cincinnati. I just like Cincy. I mean, they're playing for a 1 seed as well, too. Regardless of who wins that game, I mean, I just want to pick Cincinnati. Gut feeling tells me Cincinnati. The Bills could win, and I could be wrong, and that would probably be one of the few games I wouldn't be mad about because I could understand it. So this is what I'm thinking when it comes to my picks for the week. Honestly, the ones I'm not too confident in, Tampa Bay with a 9. I hate that I had to do that, but just where I had to put some other numbers. Probably Atlanta with a 7. That's definitely way too high, but I didn't know where else to put it. And past that, I mean, I don't mind these all too much. There are some changes like I want to make just to like have fun for the week and everything, but just like the competitiveness in me, like I had to like take it like somewhat seriously. Like I want, for example, like obviously this is not a team I was going to take, but I want to take like the Rams to beat the Chargers. Like I want to do a few more games like that with like some teams I could possibly see winning. That's why I try to maybe with like Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and I just don't know. Like overall, I'm not the most confident in this because I would say maybe like a quarter of these games, I couldn't even tell you what's going to happen. Like Seattle, New York, I think that's basically a coin flip with Mike White back in and the way the Seattle Seahawks just look. Tampa Bay, Carolina, as good as Tampa Bay is, that's a coin flip the way they've been playing recently. So hopefully, I mean, I just have another good week. I just want to win 1 week this year. In all my years of playing, I haven't not won a week, and I'm about to be on that territory this year. So hopefully this is the week where I don't have that happen. And now with it being Thursday morning and everything, or Thursday afternoon, depending on you, or even like morning or afternoon, depending when you listen on this, we're going to go into this. Right away, as you can see, this Thursday night game might just be a clean old stay away. Zeke has the NBA Jams ruled. He scored every week since week 6, so I would probably take him to score. But you see how bad the odds are? That's potentially like a live. Either do like Zeke to score, Cowboys to win, and something else. Either make it a 3-leg with Zeke or wait for Zeke to get a little better odds. Micah Parsons have a sack and Dallas Cowboys to win. I see that play. That wouldn't be terrible, but I don't know how I feel about those odds. And honestly, this Thursday night game might be just a plain old stay. Good. One of the very rares, but it might just be like a stay away from me. I might take some small stuff, like maybe Tony Pollard to score since his odds are so juiced, or because, yeah, Derrick Henry's probably not playing, so I'm not going to worry about him. I'd maybe take someone... I mean, if you want to have fun, I would say maybe T.Y. Hilton or Hendershot. But this is one of those games where, like, it doesn't matter for the Titans what happens, so they aren't going to be playing some of their key guys. And for the Cowboys, it really does matter for them a little bit when it comes to seeding-wise. So they're definitely going to try to do something. But I just don't know, man, honestly. Like, with this... I'm probably just going to take Zeke to score, Cowboys to win, and maybe like CD Lamb to have like 50 yards or something, like just to see what that is. Like, it's going to be something like really small. I'll do a small little parlay for the game just because, like, truly I don't know what to expect from this game, especially with Derrick Henry out. I just want to see what this is. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, there's everything basically is like screaming Cowboys, 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 Cowboys. So, sorry, I'm trying to find. Yeah, basically, I'll probably take. I just want to see what Dak like over 200 would be. I personally wouldn't add this in. The odds aren't terrible, but Honestly, yeah. So this is basic. This is probably what I'm thinking. The only issue that scares me is if they get too far ahead. Like if the Cowboys get too far ahead, then this might become like an issue. So, well, this is probably like this is like a small little parlay I might take. It's obviously not that big. It's pretty safe, but we'll see. I mean, with the touchdown score, it only being plus 167 kind of makes me a little disgusted looking at it. But like I said, there's not much plays this night, so I just don't know what to give you honestly because yeah, this is basically like half a competitive game. So I'm gonna bounce over to college. So I just want to do a quick math. I'm so far this bowl season, I'm 27-1. And that's because there's some games, so it's like that might not seem like the right number. There's some games, like for example, yesterday I took like Kansas spread, Kansas to win, UNC spread, UNC to win, and UNC lost but covered the spread, and Kansas lost but covered the spread. So there's basically a little split there. But yeah, what I just said, I think it was like 27-1 is my record. So like 20 wins, 7 losses, one push because Houston or the Raging Cajuns were a +7 push. So I mean, it's been a pretty fun bowl weekend. I've been really enjoying it. I I just got a text from my boy about me going blue for this weekend, but I'll get to that game in a minute. It's going to be interesting. Minnesota for tonight's game, Minnesota versus Florida State, or excuse me, Minnesota versus Syracuse. Sean Tucker's not playing for Syracuse, so I'm all over Minnesota. Mo Ibrahim needs like 57 yards, I think, to beat the record, or beat like there's something he needs to beat with like 57 yards. So I'm probably going to take. I don't know if I'm going to take them to cover. This might be like a live situation. I just want to see. So yeah, like if you see his rushing, I'd be almost tempted to maybe take under because there's a chance he gets like his 50 to 6, or he gets his like 60, 65 rushing yards and he's done the rest of the game. So this might be an underlook because I don't know how much Mo Ibrahim's going to play. But I like Minnesota in this game, but I don't know if I like them to win by 10. Syracuse doesn't have a few of its key guys. Like it's missing Chestnut on the defensive back end, missing somebody else on the defensive back end, and Sean Tucker, like I said. So I'm over Minnesota. I think -10 might be a little bit too much, though. A little bit too much for me. So we'll see. Florida State versus Oklahoma. I want to say I lean Florida State there because I feel like they have. Sounds funny, but I think they have a little bit more talent offensively, slightly this year. But being 10 points feels like too much. So I want to take probably the dog there. So I'll probably bet Oklahoma spread, but I won't be surprised if Florida State wins. And then Washington versus Texas. I mean, Bijan Robinson's not playing. Bijan Robinson's not playing. I don't think his backup's playing either. Roshan Johnson, whatever. I think that's Roshan Johnson. Yeah, I think it's Robinson and Roshan Johnson. Neither of them are playing, so I'm just going to take Washington with the points straight up. Can't trust Texas in bowl games. Notre Dame, South Carolina. I'm going to take Notre Dame probably solely as a fan. I haven't liked how South Carolina's played this year. Maryland, NC State. I really don't got to play for you. I would say that I want to lean. My gut says Maryland, but they usually, as like, I think as favorites, they usually do. I forget what it is. I think it's as dogs, they do awful, and favorites, they do well. So it's something like that where whatever. So them being a dog, I believe, which they are. Yeah, that's what it is. When they're a dog, they don't do too well, but when they're a favorite, they do all right. So this would be one where I'd want to lean towards Maryland, but that might be a stay away. UCLA, Pitt, probably just a plain stay away. Maybe UCLA. Ohio, Wyoming, I want to probably lean Ohio, but it's going to depend on. I think the Ohio QB might be opted out, though, so that's why the spread's so small. So we'll see. I mean, I'll have to look in a little bit more in that game. But the big games I wanted to get to, the reason I was reading all that, Alabama, Kansas State. Probably live bet Kansas State on the spread if they go down too much because Alabama's not the same as they've been the past few years. And I don't know what – I mean, they're playing in the Sugar Bowl. They don't got much to play for, if we're being honest. This is a championship team, not a bowl team. Iowa, Kentucky, I'm probably going to lean towards Iowa there, but I lied. It's not college basketball. Might lean towards Kentucky because that Iowa offense is absolutely putrid. But I forgot Spencer Petras is out, so since he is out, I might lean back towards Iowa. That might be another stay away though. But these are the games I really wanted to get into before I get into the NFL. So yeah, honestly, like all the Monday Monday Bowl action, I'll just go over real quick because I'm probably going to take Mississippi State for Mike Leach. Obviously, he passed away. They're playing for him, so that's probably one I'll take. Might take Tulane over USC just for fun because it would be fun to see them. But past that, I don't know what I'll take that Monday. But college championship-wise, I've rode with TCU all year. TCU has... There's 1 week they lost me the money line against Kansas State this last game of the year, but every other week than that, they were just a cash cow machine for me. So I'm going to go down with the ship, or I'm going to ride with TCU. Might hedge Michigan if I can get Michigan at a good number. So I'm for sure taking TCU spread. Have to hammer TCU money line because they're my boys. And this game, like I said, as long as this spread stays anywhere above like 6.5, like I think this should be honestly like close to a 3 to 4 point game. If it stays anywhere above 5.5, 6.5, I'm gonna just keep eating up that TCU money line. And then I might take Michigan, like I said, if they go down a little bit, I might take them spread. But depending on, I don't know. I just like I said, I want to take Michigan, but I've rode with TCU all year, so I have to stay loyal. Then when it comes to Ohio State, Georgia, I think I have to take Georgia. I mean, that's going to be another game where I just watch and probably take a bet at halftime, but we'll have to see. Something that I just don't know how I feel about Georgia or Ohio State either. Those are just two very... I mean, as you can see, so I think the college championship is... So since that's not today, let me find... So as you can see, like, as long as it stays around like this, if it stays like anything plus 5.5 up, I'm really liking TCU. This whole line opened up at 9 and 10. I got a little bit of sprinkle, I think, at 9.5, 10.5. I can't remember what it was. I wish I kept hammering it as the weeks went on, but I didn't. And then, yeah, Ohio State is now down to 6. I mean... Georgia, like, I haven't watched Georgia games. That's the only reason I'm, like, not fully this confident in the game. But that feels like enough points to where potentially that, yeah, I would say watch this game at half. If Ohio State looks like they have a chance to actually, like, stay in the game and be competitive, maybe bet them. I'm basically going to bet this, I feel like, solely on, like, how the first quarter ends. So, like, say Georgia's ahead, or for sure the first half, I'm going to bet the dog, no matter who it is. I'm going to bet the dog with the points. But for the first half, I'll probably just watch. And if I like the flow of Ohio State, I might lay some points with them. Like, if they're, like, behind, but keeping it close, I might lay the points with them. But if, like, Georgia, depending how they play, it's all basically going to come out how Georgia plays. Because there's games Georgia comes out slow, and, like, they're just cruising. But now that it's the college playoffs, I feel like they might come out fast, come out hungry, and if they come out like they're capable of, this game could end up being a rout. We're going back to the NFL now. I just want to go over. So that's what I like in college. Obviously, you take what you want at your discretion. I mean, I wasn't trying to flex my record on anybody. I'm just saying, like, hey, I've been doing all right. But do your research for sure, because the biggest thing that's been helping me is I've been looking at the dogs, taking the dogs a lot more seriously in these bowl games. I've been looking at who wants to play in the bowl games, and it's just I've gotten a few balls to roll my way. It's been nice, but like I said, I'm just giving you my thoughts on what I think about those, and that's where you should go from there. Bucks, Panthers, and this week too, when it comes to NFL, when it comes out to some of the stuff I'm going to give out, there's going to be some clear stayaways. Just because, I'll just give you, like, some insights on some stuff I like, maybe, but like I said, there's going to be a few games where I just won't even touch. For example, this being one of them, Carolina Panthers, Bucks. Not touching any aspect of this game. Don't want anything to do with it, want nothing. I'm tired of losing money on touchdown scores to the Bucks for sure, and then to this team as well. And the same goes with this game. I might take Curtis Samuel maybe for the Commanders or Jahan Dotson because Carson Wentz seems to target for sure Curtis Samuel the most. But I'll see Jahan Dotson. Game flow wise, Jahan Dotson might be a sneaky touchdown scorer bet if you've noticed that like Carson Wentz looks this way a little bit. But who's going to be watching that game? Obviously the fans of both teams, but I want to say maybe Nick Chubb, but I'm not touching this game. I don't think. Saints Eagles, another game I'll probably stay away from. I'll probably maybe take A.J. Brown to score. Just solely from the fact that he didn't last week and he's been hot recently. But with Gardner Minshew in, it's kind of hard to tell. He's threw to Quez Watkins a lot. Devontae Smith won the ball a lot as well. And the Saints have a decent defense, too. So This is another one of the games I'll just watch game flow. If you notice, like, for example, if you notice, like, say, Kenneth Gainwell is getting a lot of big runs, maybe lean towards him just because it seems like the Eagles like to do that, where if their guy's going off and he's doing well, they like to get him in the end zone. No play for me, I think, this game. I'm just probably going to stay away. If anything, I'd probably lean Eagles money line. I would lean, like, Eagles money line. Make it like a nice little three-legger, like Eagles money line, like maybe like Miles Sanders over 50 yards and A.J. Brown over 50 yards, something like that. I would do something very basic to make it like plus 100 to make it a little bit worth it, but overall I'd probably just stay away in general. Because I might take some like I said, this like pre-touchdown bets for so far these 3 games I got none. These might be all live situations, but if I have to pick someone from this game, I would say A.J. Brown because he didn't score last week. Falcons, Cardinals, probably James Conner or but I want to take DeAndre Hopkins, but Dortch is the one who got targets. So Falcons wise, I'd probably say Tyler Algier. He had a really big week, like a game or 2 out, and I don't think he scored recently, or he might have scored last week. I can't remember. So I'd probably lean Tyler Algier and James Conner in this game, not knowing what the odds are. For the Jaguars, I'd probably lean. I'm not going to take anybody with the Texans because maybe Jordan Akins, just because I noticed him making a lot of plays, but I don't. The Texans are hit and miss if they're going to score or not. I like Travis Etienne to score. He didn't score last week. He had a lot of rushing yards. He got tackled at the 1-inch line, so they're probably going to try to get him back in the end zone. I also, if I have to pick a receiver, maybe Zay Jones has scored a lot, and he didn't score last week, but the weather's really bad, so I'd keep an eye on him. I would keep an eye on maybe Christian Kirk. It's been a little bit for him, too, as well. Bears-Lions, Jamal Williams banged up, so I'm probably going to take Amon-Ra to score here. Probably, like, Lions win, Amon-Ra to score, and Amon-Ra maybe over, like, adjusted amount of receiving yards. Might do, like, 75, 80, maybe even 100 just for fun, but I like the Lions in this game. Last week, Goff threw 3 touchdowns only to Zylstra and nobody else, so it feels like this is the week where somebody else will probably get a touch or 2, and maybe Jameson Williams might be a little sprinkle, might be nice because he's been coming out on in the media talking about how he wishes they would throw to him more, so he might get punished, he might not. That might be something to keep an eye on. Something I got to mention before, I picked the Dolphins, but Teddy Bridgewater is starting, so I might take Raheem Mostert in this game, maybe Jeff Wilson, one of the running backs, but other than that, stay away. I don't know who else to pick in this game. I don't like either of those teams. They've been struggling with me as of late. So yeah, I'm going to say Raheem Mostert maybe, but I'm probably going to, the fact that the Dolphins are plus money now, I'll probably just take the Dolphins straight up spread, or probably take spread and take them straight up. I just don't mind. I don't mind the Dolphins, and with Teddy Bridgewater, and I think he should do well enough. It's just both those teams are fighting for a playoff spot. The loser leaves town, and hopefully it's just a matter of who wants it more, and we'll just have to see. I like Dolphins, so I'm probably going to lean that. Broncos Chiefs. Probably take Kelsey. I'm probably going to take McKinnon to score. He's scored the last few weeks. He's looked really hot. And then I've been losing money recently at like a Travis Kelsey touchdown, but it just feels like it's one of those things where the longer he goes without it, the better I feel about him getting one the following week. But I'd probably take McKinnon in this game to score. It's so hit and miss because, I mean, like, probably McKinnon, Pacheco, and Kelsey are my top 3. There's just so many people. And then if you're going to pick somebody from the Broncos, like maybe Jerry Jeudy, he's been the most targeted, him or Latavius Murray, but it's just one of those things where, yeah, I'm especially with like going back to Travis Kelsey. It's one of those things where I like Kelsey, but he has not been scoring too much as of late. I'll probably speed through some of these because some of these games are like meh. Saquon, I'm probably gonna take Saquon to score in this game. Not touching anybody on the Colts. I'm over them with the way they played last Monday night. Jets Seahawks. With Mike White starting, maybe Garrett Wilson, because now that he'll go back to getting some targets, so I kind of like that. But if you're going to pick on the Seattle side, if Kenneth Walker's back, I like him. If not, I like DK Metcalf. 49ers, I like Kittle to score. NBA Jam rules. He seems to be the favorite target of Brock Purdy right now, so I'm probably going to take him. Maybe take Ayuk, maybe McCaffrey. Those are the 3 names I like the most out of that for the Raiders. With Stidham in, that team's probably rock bottom. I'm not taking anybody. Maybe Jacobs, if anybody, but I don't know how they're going to move the ball too well. to get enough chances. Packers, Vikings. I'm probably going to take the duos of running backs. So I'll take Cook, AJ Dillon. I like those two guys for sure. Aaron Jones, assuming he's healthy and doing a little better, I might take him to score as well. Vikings, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, like I said earlier. Either one of those would work for me. I'm not going to go Hawkinson because he got 2 last game, and he hasn't. When he scores 1 week and doesn't score for a while, so I'm going to stay away from Hawkinson for the back-to-back. But Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, and then A.J. Dillon is close to NBA Jams rules, so I'm going to bet on him. He scored the last 2 games, so it's something to keep an eye on. Chargers, Rams, probably take Eckler and Keenan Allen in this game. Maybe Mike Williams. They laid a stinker, and they haven't been scoring a lot of passing touchdowns, so you feel like they're going to be due to want to throw it around a little bit. Ravens, Steelers. It's a night game, so I'm going to take probably Najee because he didn't score last week for the Steelers. But these are always like dirty, grimy games. Under 35, like that might be okay. This might be like a 17-13 type of finish. So 35, I think, is like the perfect under for me. Like that's the lowest I'll go before I'm just like, okay, I'm not touching it. So I probably lean the under in that game and just Steelers straight up. I don't know if I like anybody to score. Bills, Bengals, and then for Bills, Bengals Monday night, I like Stephon Diggs. He hasn't scored in a while. I like T. Higgins. He's been on fire recently. Joe Mixon hasn't scored in a while, so he might be one to look out for. James Cook has been taking a lot of the rushing touchdowns recently, so he's scored, I think, the last 2 games for sure, so he might be close to NBA Jam rules. But yeah, overall, those are some of the things I'm liking for this week. Like I said, I'm just giving you literally just off the top of my head everything. Like when it comes to the games, what I'm thinking going in. I don't know what I'm going to take for sure. Probably here soon I might start tweeting out some of the stuff. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure if I want to do that yet or not, but for now, that's what I like for these games. Take what you like based off what you heard me say. I mean, if you don't like it, maybe bet against it, but that's just what I'm thinking for the week. NFL has been kind and all right to me. College bowl season has been blessing me so far, so hopefully, with knock on wood, with 2 weeks left until playoffs, hopefully we can finish the regular season strong, and then when it comes to Pickem, hopefully I can just win a week, and I'm just really excited for all the games that are about to be happening this weekend.